Good evening. Today I will be discussing the unjustifiable reason for the death penalty and the cruelty it ensues, and answering the question on what can we do as Americans, citizens, and good people to fix it. According to psychologists and professionals Scott Phillips and Jamie Richardson, around 1,500 Americans who have been wrongfully convicted have been executed since the 1970s. People every day are dying in the hands of the government, and it's up to us to fight for them and donate and support organizations like Amnesty International that are doing the best of their ability to fix the problem. In this presentation, I will highlight why we need Amnesty International, the legitimacy of the program, and the importance that it has in our everyday life. Now that we have discussed the main points, let's review on why we need it. Prejudice and inhumanity is booming within the criminal system. According to American Progress, Black and Hispanic people make up around 30% of the population. This number skyrockets to 53% of those on death row. The numbers are simply not adding up. This prejudice is not just towards those who are racial minorities, but also those who are in poverty and those who suffer with a mental illness. According to Oklahoma Coalition, 99% of victims are in poverty. This is because they cannot afford lawyers to benefit them in their situation and prove their innocence. The entire system sets those who are poor and struggle with money up for failure. According to Mental Health USA, 5 to 10% of those who suffer with mental illness are on death row. According to World Psychiatric Association, the death penalty should not be imposed on a person with mental illness. This is because they cannot fully comprehend the crime they committed. This is not to say they do not deserve punishment, as I believe every person should, as it is reasonable for the crime, but they should not undergo such intense and inhumane punishment, such as the death penalty. This problem is not just in America, but it is countries all around the world. According to Amnesty International, since the 1990s, 163 people under the age of 18 have been executed due to the death penalty. This is in countries such as Iran, Nigeria, Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, Sudan, South Sudan, and Yemen. Reviewing the cruel circumstances, there is hope on how we can break the system with this prestigious association known as Amnesty International. Amnesty International was founded by UK law reformer and lawyer Peter Benson in 1961. He published an article called The Forgotten Prisoners after he saw a case of which 2 Portuguese young men were jailed because they wrote a toast to freedom, something that he believed that everyone deserves. When he published this, it was a wide success and encouraged those to believe in his program and support his cause, leading to them to where they are today. In 1977, Amnesty International won the Nobel Peace Prize. The Nobel Peace Committee says, "The defense of human dignity against violence contributes peace in the world," to which I could not agree more. In 1980, they began their fight against the death penalty. According to Death Penalty Information Center, what originally was 16 countries that had abolished the death penalty has skyrocketed to 140. This is due to Amnesty International and what they have done to fight against it. Now that we have discussed why Amnesty International is legit and a great program for you to fund in and believe in, why should you care? We should care and do everything in our power to help those who cannot help themselves. A great example of this would be Joseph Ardell, who was arrested in 1985 for rape. Now that sounds like a punishment that most people believe deserves the death penalty. which I kind of agree. But he actually was innocent. Joseph Wardell requested many times for them to give a DNA request. Since it was the 80s, there was less strict laws. His last request was in 1997, to which was his death date. People who have reviewed the case in 1999 throughout now believe that he was in fact innocent, but the case since then has been let go and some of the files have been disappeared. Donating to Amnesty International can help those like Joseph, help those who need us, help those who have lost their lives and affected those in our community. Donating to Amnesty International can help you fight for what is right. Donating to www.amnestyinternational.org, you can support this program or review or share with your friends on all the good that they have done. As Shane Claiborne once said, true justice heals wounds, while the death penalty creates new ones. Do not be the reason on why the death penalty will further create new wounds. Thank you all for listening. These are my references.